Carol's family first came to Canada from Iowa in 1906. The family's patriarch, Louis William Lafayette, planned the move to Regina. She shared her family's story at a Black History Month launch event at the beginning of February.
When he arrived, no one had received any property, so he did have to begin homesteading, and he started to homestead out in the Rosetown area.
At the time, they were the only Black family in the community, and in order for their children to get an education, they had to build their own school, named after Oskaloosa, Lewis's hometown in Iowa.
It was an integrated school, and I had my father's aunt came from Iowa as a teacher and taught at the Maidstone area where all the Black people were, the schools there. And she wanted to come teach at Oskaloosa. And apparently the chairman of the board said, there's no way any Black woman is teaching my children.
Although fleeing north was seen as a move to a more accepting place, Canada still has its own dark history. According to the Civic Museum of Regina, this gold Ku Klux Klan token was found in a heritage home in 2018. The family who found it donated the piece to the museum. It's believed to date back to the early 1920s. At the time, it was believed that the KKK had a membership of 25,000 people in Saskatchewan, believed to be one of the largest groups in Canada at the time. Carol says her family was lucky and didn't face much in the way of overt racism at the time they came to Canada. But the family's attitude in this era of racial unrest and inequality was simple.
We're just as equal to anyone else, and if people call you names, that's their problem, and it's usually because they don't feel so good about themselves.
February is Black History Month in Canada, but it wasn't always recognized this way. Back in the 70s, it only lasted a week, and it wasn't until 1995 that it became nationally recognized. The fight for equality and justice is still an uphill climb for many, not only here in Saskatchewan, but around the country. But there is hope.
I think as young people are exposed more and more to the diversity of our city and the diversity of the world, that minds may be changing.
This is something that makes Canada and makes Saskatchewan very, very special. But you can't take it for granted.
Black History Month acknowledges the sacrifices made by so many and the strides forward taken to get us to where we are today. The hope here in Saskatchewan is that the province will continue to grow and live up to its motto, from many people, strength. Jessica Smith, CTV News, Regina.